kiss Jay-Z romantically?
No. No, I can't answer that. I can't answer that.
Oh, she's touching him off the neck! Look! You see?
Why do people not want to let the Jay-Z Blu Cantrell thing go?
Because, honey, that was a fabulous little high point in your
Well,
career.
what about Beyonce and Jay-Z? That's fabulous.
All right, listen up because something huge just came to light, and it's not your average celebrity gossip. Singer Blu Cantrell has finally opened up about a shocking part of her past that could shake up everything people thought they knew about Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and how the entertainment world really operates behind closed doors. According to Blu, she and Jay-Z were more than just acquaintances. She says they had a real relationship, one that wasn't out in the open but definitely intense behind the scenes. And here's where it gets even more serious. She claims she got pregnant during that time and the fallout was nothing short of devastating.
Remember Blu Cantrell, the one that sang, "Hey ladies, when your man wanna get but wild." What are the odds that Jay-Z and Beyonce's firstborn is named Blu?
You ever kissed Jay-Z romantically?
No. No, I can't answer that.
Apparently there was this love triangle between Jay-Z, Blu Cantrell, and Beyonce, allegedly.
But before we dive into the details of what happened, let's take a quick step back. A lot of folks today might not remember, but Blu Cantrell wasn't just some unknown trying to get attention. Back in the early 2000s, she was a rising star. Her debut album, So Blue, dropped in 2001 and it was a big success. Her single hit "Em Up Style, Oops" was everywhere on the radio, in clubs, all over BET's 106 and Park.
Easier to relate to men who are in the business, but I find myself as like, it's just redundant. Like they're in this circle that it's fast women, fast money, and it's just like I can't live that lifestyle because some of my best friends are guys who are in the business who are successful, and I see what they do on a day-to-day basis because I hang out with them, I kick it. Most of my friends are guys in this business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And not guys that I sleep because you know what? I respect what they do in their hustle, and I try to learn what I can from them.
She even got a Grammy nomination. Blu had talent, recognition, and respect in the music game. So how did she go from being everywhere to seemingly vanishing overnight? Well, that's where Jay-Z enters the picture. Blu now says that during her peak years, she and Jay-Z were secretly involved. They weren't seen walking red carpets together or posting photos, remember? This was before social media ruled everything, but insiders saw them at exclusive industry parties and studio sessions. They weren't flaunting it, but people noticed the closeness.
I really want to talk to is Blu Cantrell. Jay-Z worked very hard to erase you and me, just like he did Elle, just like he did his relationship with R. Kelly, just like he did his relationship with Aaliyah.
Whenever she was asked about him in interviews, Blu would dodge the question. She'd laugh it off or quickly change the topic. And while she never confirmed anything back then, she also didn't deny it in a way that shut down the rumors. That alone kept the gossip mill going. Fast forward to now, and Blu's finally speaking more openly. She claims their relationship was real and emotional, not just a fling. According to her, things got very serious between them. But everything took a dark turn when she discovered she was pregnant. Blu says that's when everything changed. The way Jay-Z treated her shifted almost immediately.
What happened is he approached me at an award show that I did.
Okay.
And just pursued me and kept calling me and eventually started dating him. Ended up falling in love, meeting his mother, staying with him the whole night.
Okay.
And the one reason why he was attracted to me was the one reason why we're not together. He couldn't handle the fact that I had nude pictures. He couldn't handle the fact that I was a celebrity. He didn't like the fact that his friends all wanted me.
She describes it as cold and distant, like he flipped a switch. But what hurt more, she says, was that it wasn't just him. Suddenly, the people around him were pressuring her too. And then comes the bombshell: Beyoncé allegedly got involved. Blu isn't pointing fingers recklessly, but she strongly implies that Beyoncé was aware of the situation and became part of the effort to make the pregnancy go away. She doesn't claim Beyoncé threatened her or acted out, but the energy changed. Communication stopped. People who once took her calls vanished. connections dried up. She felt like she was being cut off without warning. Sources close to Blu have said she felt like there were conversations happening behind her back. Not just about her pregnancy, but about how to contain the situation to protect the images of both Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Think about it, this wasn't just any celebrity couple. Jay and Bey were quickly becoming one of the most powerful duos in music. Their relationship wasn't just romantic, it was business, legacy, and branding all rolled into one. A scandal like this, especially back in the early 2000s, could have damaged everything they were building. Beyoncé's team has always kept her image clean and polished. No drama, no mess, no slip-ups. So from Blu's point of view, it wasn't just about her anymore, it was about covering up a potential scandal before it made headlines. Now imagine being in Blu's position. You're young, pregnant, and suddenly surrounded by silence and pressure. The people you thought cared about you have pulled away, and the only message you're getting is that this situation needs to be handled quietly. Blu has said it felt like the industry machine, which once embraced her, had suddenly turned against her. And then she was gone. Blu had 2 solid albums, successful singles, critical praise, and fan support. After her second album, Bittersweet, dropped in 2003, she hinted at working on new music. But nothing ever came out. She didn't officially quit, didn't announce a break, and yet her career came to a standstill. Labels stopped calling. Collaborations disappeared. Her name faded from the spotlight. She's since suggested that it wasn't her choice. She didn't walk away. It felt like she was being pushed out intentionally. She was iced out, not because her talent vanished, but because she was no longer convenient. And if her story about the pregnancy is true, that sudden industry freeze starts to make a lot more sense. Then things got even darker. In 2014, Blu Cantrell made headlines again, but not for her music. She was found on the streets of Santa Monica, clearly in distress. Witnesses reported she was yelling, pacing, and saying people were trying to poison her. She was eventually taken to a hospital for a mental health evaluation. Some people were quick to assume she was having a breakdown or struggling with substance issues. But others, especially fans who followed her story, saw something deeper. This didn't seem like a random meltdown. It looked like the emotional collapse of someone who had been carrying trauma, fear, and pressure for years. And if you look at how the industry has treated other celebrities in similar situations, Blu's experience starts to feel familiar. Think about Martin Lawrence, Amanda Bynes, Britney Spears, or even Dave Chappelle. All of them had moments where they appeared to crack under the weight of fame and the pressure of the spotlight, only for people to later realize there was real pain hiding beneath the surface. Blu's story, if true, isn't just about a secret affair. It's about power, control, and what happens when someone threatens the carefully controlled narrative of the music industry's biggest stars. It's about how easily someone can go from rising star to complete outcast if they find themselves on the wrong side of that system. So now, years later, Blu Cantrell is speaking her truth. And while some may dismiss it as old news or tabloid gossip, others are listening more closely. Because behind the drama and the rumors, there's a real person who says she was silenced, pushed out, and left to deal with the aftermath on her own. Whatever your thoughts are about Jay-Z or Beyoncé, one thing is clear: the music industry is not always as glamorous as it seems. And for someone like Blu Cantrell, telling her story might finally be a step toward healing and maybe even justice. And here's the thing, y'all, Blu Cantrell's story isn't some one-off tragedy. She's not the only woman who's found herself caught in the shadows of powerful people, only to end up silenced, pushed out, or worse. Let's talk about Kathy White for a second. You might not recognize the name right away, but the rumors that swirled around her were just as serious. Word on the street was that she, too, had a secret relationship with Jay-Z, and some say she was pregnant. Just as she was allegedly preparing to speak out publicly, she passed away suddenly. The official cause was listed as a heart attack, but people close to her questioned that explanation. They felt like something about the timing and the silence that followed just didn't sit right. Then there's Tiara Mari. Remember her? She had a promising career, a strong voice, and all the tools to make it big. But as soon as whispers started floating around about a possible fling with Jay-Z, it seemed like her momentum came to a screeching halt. One minute she was on top, the next she was struggling to get any traction in an industry that once had opened doors. And look, we're not out here saying Beyoncé is some villain behind a curtain pulling all the strings. There's no evidence that she's threatening anyone or running a secret operation to shut women down. But what is worth paying attention to is the pattern. Every time a woman gets too close to Jay-Z, especially when the relationship becomes emotional or public, things tend to go sideways. Whether it's sudden career death, unexplained tragedies, or complete media silence, something keeps happening. So the question is this all just bad luck? Or is there something bigger going on? Could it be that Beyoncé, the ultimate queen of control and perfection, is making sure nothing and no one gets in the way of the empire she and Jay-Z have built? Not out of spite, not out of hate, but maybe just to protect what they've worked for? Now, look, we're not pretending to have all the facts. Some parts of these stories are hard to confirm, and yes, there's plenty of speculation. But when similar situations keep popping up around the same person, time after time, it's hard not to wonder. Blu Cantrell being pushed out of the spotlight might not have been random at all. Maybe she got too close. Maybe she knew too much. Or maybe her truth simply didn't fit the narrative the Carter brand wanted the world to see.